What's going on, guys? Here we are again, back with another episode of Getting Mad Real. Today we have a pillar in the Madden community, a voice, a face of all of those out there that we all love, to look forward to hearing and seeing great content from. Someone who's inspired me to be out here and make content. So here we have none other than the pack god himself, the actual CC.
Thank you for having me today, man. I appreciate it.
How you doing, bud? What's cracking? What's going on in CC's world right now?
Too much. I'm way too busy with not work, but that's okay. You know, so often life gets in the way of what we want to do. So it's a struggle sometimes because a lot of people don't really take us as real people sometimes, you know? So like there's a lot to do otherwise in life instead of just playing Madden and trying to shove it in there. There's so much else that goes on. So besides, yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yes, and that's, you know, I love that. You know, and that's what I would love to do is put more of a person to this thing that we call I don't want to call it thing, this person we call, I guess, this being we call the actual CC that we see out there.
Right.
You know, because, you know, and as most content creators are, there's a couple that let you behind the curtain a little bit more and more, and kind of, you know, they're part of life. Some, you know hardly anything about. But, you know, so I think you share a lot with the community. But as you say, you have a lot, you know, going on besides what you say when it comes to putting content out, as far as, you know, Madden videos, opening pats, and what that. So why don't you just let a lot of people know, or what you're willing to share, what a day in the life of CC looks like.
Well, that's a long day. So normally, I'm probably up around 6:30, helping everyone get ready in the morning, whether it's the big one or the little one, whatever needs to be done. And then I think we normally leave the house around 7, just drop them both off at school. And then normally I would go to Chick-fil-A for breakfast because I need my breakfast and I'm not cooking. And then what I can do now, so that was like even when I was working full time, but now that I'm not, that's sort of like that time after is my like relaxing time, right? I'm not in the mood to sit down and record or really even play anything. So maybe it's watch a show, or if I'm really tired still, I might even take a nap or something, set an alarm, just to have some sort of clear time, especially waking up and you're just running right into chaos, as you know. And then from there, waiting, planning on the content, seeing what's coming out. If when we know what's coming or if we don't know what's coming, I've planned ahead generally, roll through all that until about 2, and then pick them up and have everyone here, and then sort of manage for a couple hours until like about 5-ish. And then once the wife gets home, it's just like family time from like 5 to 9 generally, something like that. And then I will come downstairs and sort of start working or start playing games if it's weekend league, or just sort of planning like what I want to do for the evening. Like it's not always mad. Sometimes it's just like, I'm going to clean up, right? Or, you know, let me cut my hair or whatever it may be. That's normally the time that I'm getting everything done. Between like 9 and 10 is more my time. And then like after 10 is when I would hop on and like be social with people, hop on Skype calls or whatnot, and then just sort of sit down and relax. Because at that point, again, I'm trying not to do anything. Even if I'm playing Madden, I'm playing it at my own pace. That's why I don't always stream, because I'm just really burnt out by that time. I've been going for a lot of the day, and I don't want to be on again, you know? Not that I have this overwhelming loud personality or anything, but it's different having to talk versus not talk, having to sit straight up in your chair instead of leaning back, having to have the microphone, which it probably looks natural for a lot of people, but you know, like the microphone is like, it's in your face. You have to have it there. You see it there. You have to be looking in the camera. It can't just be sort of, you know, off to the side. So just having time to do the exact same things I may be doing in a video, but not have to talk about it. It's kind of nice, you know, just simply that, which is kind of nice, where it's playing Madden for fun as opposed to for work, I guess would be the best way to put it. And then I'll probably do that till about 2 or 3 in the morning and then go to bed again, because if I want to do something, there's only so many hours in the day you can do it, and you got to give up something. I'll just give up sleep. Just easier.
Wow. I mean, that's funny you say it that way, because I remember the first time I ever saw or discovered you. The first time I saw CC, and it was you see, I was very still new into the MUT thing. I've been played Madden for a long time, but very new into the MUT thing. This is, I think, is Madden 19 maybe. It was like the Zero Chill promo. And I remember it was a video. At that time, I'd watched maybe 1 or 2 YouTubers. Still was very new to what it meant. And I'd never really seen anyone with more than 1 million coins, I think, or 2 million coins. I thought that was so crazy at the time. And then you were sitting there, and you're all saying it was like they jumped the price of snow or something, and you're all, oh my god, I'm selling all these cards right now for like 800K a piece, and if they're just selling all this, will be gone before I post this one, this will be gone before I post, and you're just making all these coins, and you're all, and I'm gonna have so many coins, I'll be ready for what this game is whatever this game can bring me, I'm gonna be ready for it. And I thought, dang, I never it was like a totally different vibe to anyone else I'd ever seen on YouTube before. I was still kind of new to watching it, but it was just different. So
it's a different thing, like I get a lot of comments even to this day about when I will say like that card's too expensive, people are like, well, you can buy it, you have all the coins in the world. It's like, that's true, I can, but I'm not necessarily always saying it for me, right? I'm saying it for the average player in the game. And at the same point, like there's gonna be times I'm gonna do really dumb stuff, but for the most part I don't want to, because the more coins I have later in the year, I have to spend less money on the account, which I really don't. It sounds crazy. I do not like doing it. I just don't. I mean, like, opening bundles is fun and it's great, but it's not necessary. And the only reason I do it is for the content, to make sure that we have the best cards and give the best opinions to people, because there are people out there who have the coins or have the means that, or however they get their coins, to be able to do what they need. And like, okay, well, let me use sort of some of my expertise ish to help with that, and go in other places. But yeah, no, I mean, it's just, I've always been that way. Like, I want as many coins as I can get, because you never know what's going to happen with the market or with the game or what they're going to do. Like right now, right, the market is terrible. Your team, everyone loved it. Packs were great. Packs were great, right? I mean, you open packs, you saw they were amazing. But everyone's team lost half their value on Friday, and we still think it was a great day. I mean, it was cool. It was a fun day, but great. I don't know, man. That team you had worth 10 mil is only worth 5 now. And that's why, I like my limits. But we can get into that. I could just keep talking.
No. I love it. I love it. I mean, it just goes to show how, like I said, like that's what I saw. That's exactly what you just did. Is right what I saw. And I remember you saying,
doing it again.
And it's and it's like, and I remember you saying a couple things that stick in my head that I repeat a lot of time on my streams. Coins are king. Coins are king. No matter what you think you have, coins are king in this game, And then another thing is, always do with exactly the opposite of what you think the market wants you to do. And that's usually, if they want you to get this, you get this other currency that gives you that currency. You don't want to, if you're not, you're chasing, you're chasing, you're doing exactly what makes people like you a lot of coins. And
you just got to be smart. Like, it's not overly hard. It's not overly complicated. I don't really even play the market anymore. I know a lot of people who do have way, way, way more coins than I do. And that's cool, And to me, it's just a time thing. But it's so easy to make coins in this game. It's so easy. And this year, it's obviously the easiest it's been. But limiteds this year, being fairly pullable, not all of them. Uh, and the idea of renting cards is it's free. It's free. Someone said that their team lost 5 million coins in value, right? On Friday. You know what my team, nobody spent team lost? Almost nothing because they're all limiteds or nats. It's this still worth 250,000 coins. And that 250,000 coins will buy me a lot more in 3 or 4 weeks than it would on that day. And that's why I will even pick up cards, not necessarily to use them, like your guy Kerrigan this past week. I don't have any use for Ryan Kerrigan. I'll put him on the team. Bought him for 270,000 coins. From 20,000 coins to store the card and get rid of it whenever I want, and not spend the coins either. I'll take it. They made it so easy this year. It's crazy easy.
Hey, just so you know, that Kerrigan card plays well. I put him at defensive tackle.
He looks phenomenal, man. He looks phenomenal.
That's the best. You know what? To be honest, that's the best card they've ever gave him.
It's great. Every card this year is great.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, whatever they did with the formula this year for overall, they have. Every card is stacked, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter which card you have.
what future card it is, whoever comes out, they're all good. There's really, we look at speed and not much else, but for the most part, all these cards are basically the same. Frank Clark, his Super Bowl card is basically the same as Kerrigan's card. They are not the same player, not even close to the same type of player, but their cards are almost identical. One came out in January and one came out in April. Oh, you tell me. Oh, yeah.
So
they made it easy this year for us.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You lead. You lead. I'm.
Oh no. I love it. Again, that expresses the passion, and I talk about, and it kind of leads me to this point that I'm next. I know you're a wrestling fan, as I am as well.
Oh yeah.
And growing up as kids, I don't know how you thought of it. You thought of the wrestlers always being like that. Not just obviously it's their persona when they're in the ring and on camera, but outside of the ring, they're like you said, they're real people, just as you talk about yourself. So how much do you see that in yourself versus like CC at Chick-fil-A? CC.
So I would say I'm the only difference between me on camera and me not on camera is just the amount of talking I would do. Like I'm not the loudest person, not the loudest person on camera. I'm just a little quieter, probably, like just speaking less. But out in public, same person. I think more than anything, I feel like a lot of people turn themselves up to be a creator, whatever it may be. And I would say I turn myself down a lot, not necessarily from the being loud and energetic, because that's not really me. I've always kind of been more stoic and everything, but from the things I would say and the way I act and being funny and inappropriate or whatever it may be, I can't put that on camera because my kids watch, so I can't have that. Like he's just gonna watch it and he's gonna show his friends because he's super proud. So no, I can't do all that. When someone's like, "You're boring," I was like, "I don't think you know me at all. I think you would definitely change your opinion. If you think that someone like Toke is this amazingly fun party animal, I'm like, well, why is he hanging out with me then? What did I do, right? There's something people always missing. They don't understand. But again, I don't think of myself as a character. It's just me. It's always just been me. That's why I came in, and I was never going to act a certain way, be loud or yelling when I pull cars. Like they're like, you don't even react when you get a good card, and I'm like, I didn't react at Christmas gifts when I was a child either. I was like, oh, that's cool, thanks. Like, if I do it, I'm fake. And I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be fake. I'm not going to conform or do anything, even though I know it probably would have helped me growth-wise. I'd rather not. I'd just be me. Or if you saw me walk into the store, yeah, you're gonna get the same person. So I still have actually never ran into anyone, which is crazy. Never, still never happened.
Really? That's.
Yeah.
I mean, and you go out enough where you think that the chances
I'm
are.
out enough. You know, I'm not in a highly populated area anymore or anything like that. But no, never, no, never had some outside of when we went to DreamHack in Atlanta, which is fair because we were at the Madden tournament. So, but no, never had it happen otherwise, which is kind of interesting. Um, but what I have done since we've moved and meeting a lot of these new people, uh, made some Madden fans out of them at least. They watch, they'll subscribe, they do all that. They're really interested in what you do. But I'm like, I'm just the same person, you know. Except if I'm at a adult gathering, I'm probably drinking a little bit. I'm having a good time, you know.
Unwinding, yes.
Yeah. I mean, like with WrestleMania's in Dallas next year. If a bunch of people are there, you probably see a slightly different version of me there.
I'm going.
Than you
I'm just
would
you know
elsewhere.
I'm going. So
I want to go. So I want to go. I've got.
I was there at the.
I
I
already
was there
looked
at
and saw
the.
the date.
I was there for the one last time out there. It is a big stadium. Have you ever been to Jerry World?
I want to go. I've never been to Jerry World. No, never. I'm like, this is a great opportunity to go. I don't want to watch the Cowboys play. I don't want to pay money to see that. You know?
I go every year.
I can do these. Oh God. But I want to go. You know, I kind of want to go this year in Tampa, but it just didn't make sense to try to get together and go kind of quickly. The tickets went on sale kind of late too. So, I was like, no, I'm gonna make it and go and start planting those seeds soon. You know, because it's also around my youngest's birthday. Which is the thing. 'Cause I remember when he was born. He was born on a Friday, and WrestleMania is obviously on a Sunday. And I remember being in the hospital because she had to be there for 3 days for C-section and all that. And it was Sunday at 4, and I was like, well, I gotta go home. I'll go on home. And she's like, you're leaving? I was like, WrestleMania? What are you talking about? Am I leaving? Yes, I'm leaving. I gotta go watch. So.
Hey,
I did that.
Only a wrestling fan would understand that, you know, and then the wrestling wife would be it's WrestleMania.
It's once a year.
Exactly.
I mean, she's let me, I don't want to say she's let me go, but she has let me go out of town for 2, so it's fair. She gets it. She understands. When it was on this weekend, she understood that that's what we were doing.
Awesome.
She doesn't care to watch it.
So how much of the Madden is she, I mean, obviously she's aware.
Okay, so she gets it now. She gets it now. Now she gets it. She didn't really fully get it. Probably even, within the last 6 months, she understood that it started to be making money, right? And she obviously understood that aspect of it, but she didn't really care about Madden or packs or whatnot. She just doesn't care. She's like, whatever, just your game that you play. And that's the game I used to play. And I remember she used to get so upset. It was Madden 25 when I think we were pushing coins for people. And I'd be on my phone a lot, tweeting, trying to get deals and done and all that. And she was always get real mad, but I was like, but I made $100 doing it. And she's like, well, that's okay, I guess. And once the little by little the money came in, the stuff, she was more understanding. But still, now, if we were eating dinner and I was answering a tweet or something, she'd be super pissed. So,
see, that's refreshing to know that never changes, no matter how.
It will not change. Every time I pick up my phone at dinner, which I'm super good at not doing. I even try I don't try to keep it on me at all times necessarily. I will intentionally leave it down here, or I will charge it so it's charging station in the kitchen or whatever it is, just so it's not like on me. I can't reach it at any moment in time, just because it's too easy, right? You get sucked in, and
sucked right in.
that's why so many times, I know like someone like Zurich, he's less. I don't know if this is true. I feel like he's always sitting down at his desk, and I'm not. I mean, I've got Twitter open. I've got Twitter open right now. If you, if someone can ever like follow my timeline on Twitter of like me doing stuff, you'll see me respond for like 5 minutes and then like ghost for 4 hours, and then like some stuff and then ghost again, just because like I'm not always there. I wish I could be, obviously a little more interactive at times, but like I'm not gonna get into a Twitter conversation with someone when the kids are around or something. You got to have your priorities and time, and that's what I've learned, and that's come from her, right? From reminding me, or else I maybe wouldn't know. I would have fallen into maybe a deeper hole of depending on the technology, but she gets it enough now. She's actually opened some packs this year, which she never did before. She doesn't get it. She's still like, so what? People pay money for cards? I'm like, yeah. She's like, why? I'm like, because they're better. No, same thing. It's like you played Candy Crush. I remember you were like, oh, I could get 3 more lives for 99 cents. I'm like, it's the same thing. Just you getting $100 worth of lives.
Make more fun.
Right. It's just it's a better experience, and I've had to explain it to her. And I remember for a while she was like, you don't spend money on this, do you? And I was like, no, I don't spend money on this. And then I was like, well, I do, but I've always done it, and I've always been fortunate enough in some way, since I've been playing MUT, to be making some amount of money from Madden, whether it was, again, pushing coins or early on, or ebooks and all that. There's always some money there. So I've never actually spent our money on packs.
And that's always how I've justified it. The same way as money I've made still from music is like I circulate the money that I do from my hobbies.
Like I especially because to me, I know I could just play the game and earn coins, right? I can take the time and do all that, but I mean, so when we were pushing coins in Madden 25, we would always, middlemaning, so you're just taking some financial profit, but we would also, because there was pack glitches and all sorts of stuff, right? So but what we also got is we would get like paid in like a card as well from the guy. He'd be, I'd be like, hey, I need, like a GT Patrick Willis and a GT Brian Finneran, and he'd be like, I got you. He'd be like, it's $40, and I'd be like, cool. I'd tell someone, I'd be like, it'll be 80, right? You got to get your cut. And then he'd be like, I'll throw an Ultimate Legend Barry Sanders as well. And I'd be like, well, I'm just going to hold on to that Barry real quick and just put him on my team right here. And that's why, I know you weren't around in 25, but in 25, my team was absolutely ridiculous. I had like, because you could have duplicates of everyone. So I had like 5 or 7 free safety Calvins. And then there were only 100 in the game, I just had them all because they would get them. They didn't care. They had unlimited coins and stuff. So that's how it all went. That's how I met a lot of people. A lot of people like to do that back then. It is what it is,
Indeed.
Some people that you may even still know or still in the community. But that's what it is.
And that's something, I had a similar conversation with ScoMo, on the last episode, and he
Yep, I watched it actually.
And he talked about a little bit about his relationship back then, that you guys, that kind of when you guys were kind of coming up together in a sense. And but what point did like you said you started spending money on a game? I know there had to be like a first time where you're like, I'm gonna put.
Yeah, it was. I hadn't even really played online games before. Before Madden, I hadn't actually really played like online, like searched and really tried to do anything online because I didn't play COD or anything. So it was a real eye opener of having to play online and pay money for stuff, especially in the beginning, because I had no idea what to do. Right? I was like, oh, you just play these games and they give you some coins and some packs, and it's like, okay, I can do this. And I was like, well, I want that card. How the hell do you make 300? I mean, and 25 cards weren't expensive. Coins were super hard to get because you couldn't earn any. But I was like, okay, you have to spend money on this? That's weird. I think I'll spend $20. Sure. I can open some of the, whatever this legend pack is. It's blue. It looks cool. I was like, oh, I pulled a good card. I might want to do this again. And then, like from there, I played a lot of coin games and wagers and stuff. So I was like, I think I'm okay at this game. So let's try that. And that's actually how I broke in even further into the community, was putting it on the line, risking it out, like thinking I'm better than people. I was a little better than normal, but then I got a lot better subsequently after that. I wasn't as good at the time, but yeah, that's how it all worked. I know Scomo's was winning the giveaway essentially, sort of like propelled him and gave him a name. And I remember when he won that giveaway on Twitter. And I remember looking at this guy and I was like, this guy's a loser, right? He looked like a loser, acted like a loser. These Mutt Crew guys, my God, like, what is happening? I just remember all that. I was like, nah, it's not for me. Because he really didn't like one of the guys that I was friends with too. So they got into some arguments. I was like, I don't know about this. But then I actually got to know him. You know, very different. Very different back then. But it was all fun. I mean, he was.
So,
he was.
So what would be you think the biggest, obviously like I said, I was not a part of the Madden community. I was unaware of so many of these. Like, it was such a steep learning curve for me, but as I continue to learn. But what's the biggest difference you see now? Like I said, it's like as you know, as a wrestling fan, people are always like, oh man, wrestling back in the day was so cool. Now it sucks. It's like we love everything so much until we hate it. You know what I mean?
It's interesting. I feel like the community has really grown in a good manner. It was very tight knit, almost cliquish, maybe way too cliquish back in the day. And I was a part of that too, right? And then sort of, I don't want to say I grew up, but I sort of realized like you don't have I can like them too. It's fine, right? So from the community standpoint, we've gotten a lot bigger and better for sure. From the game of Mutt, you will see and hear a lot of people claim Mutt 13 was great and all that, and sure, right? But how far the game has truly come since then, like, you can't say that those early Mutts were better. Maybe they had better cards or the gameplay was better. That's maybe influencing your decision. But from a technology standpoint and releases standpoint within the game, Mutt is the best it's ever been. Right? There's so much we didn't have back then. It's constantly improving. Anyone who says or thinks otherwise, you really are kind of living in the past, and it's nostalgia, and that's fine. It's totally okay to not think in the moment, especially after you've just got an aggressive card or whatever, something bad happens in the game, or the packs suck. Oh, this game sucks. Mutt sucks. But it's all gotten a lot better for the best, And I know the team works really hard on trying to get some of this stuff in and doing that, but there's a lot of stuff they don't get in and get done too, unfortunately. There's some aspects of the game that we've been waiting for years. I know one of the biggest things for me is stat tracking. Every other game has it, but we don't. Why don't we? I would love to know that, But again, is it the end of the world that we don't have it? No, it's fine. Maybe we'll get it. Maybe we won't. I'll still play. Oh. I don't know. The game's just gotten better. They're bigger fish to fry for sure. They hear us at times when we have complaints. I know they do. We still have like direct lines to report issues and problems a lot of times, and I don't always say stuff or put on that social media front of anger, you know, because I know the truth more so. And why? Like, should I just join in? Like, no. Like, I mean, right? Everyone, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna again. I'm gonna stay true to myself in whatever I do. And if I know that, like, hey, these guys are doing this sort of stuff, and I know certain things are happening, then yeah, we have helped change a ton of stuff. Now, I'm not under an NDA or anything along those lines, but I would never say a lot of the stuff that we have helped form and change. And I'm sure a lot of the other guys have as well. And I don't know what they've done to help, whether it's fix problems, report problems, etc. But I don't want the credit either, you know, because I'm not doing it for me. I always do it for the community. Every time I would talk to EA, whoever it may be there, about stuff within the game, I would say, listen, I can tell you one of three ways. I can tell you the way I want it for me and myself, the personal player. 2, as the content creator. Or 3, the way that the community would probably prefer something. I said, which one do you want? Because they're not always going to be aligned. What's great as a content creator may not always be great for everyone else, or vice versa. You know, it goes a lot of different ways. I think a tricky topic this year would be golden tickets. Should they be in the training variety pack? What do you think? I mean, you tell me what do you think? What do you think?
No.
Should they be there?
No.
You don't think I think that the balance.
The training variety pack has ruined the game in a sense, as it's taken away. I think it's in a sense.
It has, and now you can get roasted for saying that because it is also fun and it is fun. It provides a lot of entertainment and value and cheapness, and people like things cheap because it makes everything easily accessible. I grew up in a MUT world where not everybody had everything, right? I remember that. Numbered cards. Well, you can't have it if I got it, you know? Imagine if there was only 100 golden tickets in the game now. If they came out numbered to 100, how expensive would those cards be? 10 million coins. 100%, 10 million coins. Things need to be affordable and obtainable, but obtainable isn't necessarily 250,000 coins. It's also not what the Aaron Rodgers Honors card was. It was probably the worst example this year. Who was 3 million coins? Why was that card 3 million coins? Makes no sense. It's just impossible to pull. I don't want 3 million coin cards. I don't want 8 million coin gold tickets like last year. That was stupid. I would like to see them around a million coins for like the worst ones, and like upwards of 2 million for the best ones. I think that's a fair price point because at the same point, if you pull the card, you need value from it. You want to feel like this is such a big pull that it can change your team. You can upgrade 7 people. If it's 250,000 coins, what do you go buy Derek Brooks? It's like, no, it doesn't make sense. You know, that's what the limit is right now. Now I want the Ultimate Legend to be the limited, you know, though
it's the cheapest card. It's going to be the cheapest card.
Yeah, but there's also something to be said too, that the limiteds are generally not great. They haven't been great selections, but when they have been better selections, Chimera and Palomalu, those cards weren't 250,000 coins. They were 6-ish, 6 to 7.
Mm-hmm. So
are we setting the market? I guess so. There's still a lot of them out there. People are still buying them and pulling them. You know, was Chimera all of a sudden randomly more rare? No, I don't think so. People just wanted the card.
And just not to cut, I'm sorry to cut you off, but just to
go.
Just to clarify what I mean by it, those packs ruining the game is Is this all you want to do? I mean, it makes it so that's where all
Mhm.
you want to do. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, if why would I want to? You know what I mean? Like, I have fun sitting here playing, getting these, getting this reaction from pulling a good car. What versus going playing the game and getting mad and complaining, and so it starts to become the more fun part of the game. So it ruins that part of it, and that becomes, as a content creator, pretty much all people want to see. And you go into a stream, and it's
Yeah,
like, let's roll the packs.
I
Let's roll packs.
I think I think what's gonna happen with it, if I were to put my money on something here,
Mm-hmm.
we know that they're gonna have boosted odds for 48 hours, whatever it said. I think we get the same treatment that they're in those packs for 48 hours, and then they're out. They will not constantly be in there, because then
They'll rise
you have
again.
time to build the value.
Yeah.
They'll rise, you know. What does boosted odds even really mean? I don't know. I remember when we had boosted odds last year, and I pulled 15 million coins and get a gold and got nothing. I made a call that day too. I was like, "This is stupid." So what are the odds on these packs? You can't tell me that. Like, it's we're defining impossibility here. That you haven't pulled one, just one, not even the good one, just one. Why? What like what's going on? So pack odds is always going to be a thing, and like they raised pack odds so high recently that they would just be popping out of packs anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But golden odds will have their own tickets as opposed to just overall odds. So like 99s would be 0.05%, whatever it may be. They'll be worse. Boosted odds they may be 0.05, and regular odds they may be 0.01 or something, whatever it is, based on the type of pack. There's a reason why they don't show all the odds. It says 98 plus
Then we
23% or whatever it is. And it's like, well, 98 is 23 and 99 is sure as shit ain't 23. I'll tell you that. It is not. So, which is fine. They can get away with doing it that way. It's cool. But I want to see them be pulled, and I want to see people enjoy them. I felt like last year, I was obviously super lucky pulling them. And that was pretty cool for me. That's as cool for the other creators because they weren't getting any. But at the same point, when I was pulling them out of like rewards, quite often. Rewards that no other people weren't getting. Fire Fantasy Pack. Pulled Vic the first day. Okay. Did anyone else pull Vic that day? No.
One time I think he almost broke character. I think that one time. The one time I think I saw a reaction. I was like,
yeah. Didn't expect it. I'd spent all morning, all day trying to pull those cards. I was like, I couldn't get anything. And then I recorded bundle battles that the next day. Was the next day? I guess maybe next. I'm not sure. It was right around the time we were getting ready to move, so I wasn't sure. Maybe I recorded early.
Mm-hmm.
And then I pulled Palomalu in like a clutch pack or whatever it was. I was like, all right. And then so many other people have struggled to pull the cards. But for me, I could have afforded to buy whatever bundle we wanted to. But I would also sit there ripping get a golds for hours and hours and hours because I had the coins. I had 20, 30 million coins. It didn't matter. And then getting rewards packs, weekly touchdown packs, using the trophies for like 96 plus pack or whatever it was, or the generic. You got like the one reward pack as well, similar to what you get this year. And yeah, of course I'm gonna pull more good cards than people who don't get to open the best packs in the game.
Yeah.
Like every Fire Fantasy pack I opened after that had a golden ticket. I pulled multiple like at a top 10 finish in Weekend League where you got like 2 selections of 96 plus, and it was golden ticket, Bo, and Jalen Ramsey in the same pack. Like, well, I guess that was a pretty good pack,
But like you said, you got to get those good rewards to be able to get those.
Yeah, it's helpful. That's why I'm saving my packs right now. I'm being smart because we should have had golden tickets for this Fire Fantasy pack in this Weekend League round this month, and since we don't, I'm not opening those packs because I know where my best chance could potentially lie. Right? If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. That's fine. I'm okay with saving something and not getting it out of there. But I'm gonna give myself the best chance for that day one video. You better believe it. And if I don't pull anything, it's just gonna be titled Fire Fantasy Pack for Golden Ticket or something, and it'll be fine. You know?
Either way, golden tickets in that title.
Either way, we're good. We're good. Obviously, would like to pull it, but whatever. So no, like we'll be ready. For however they do it. I said I want people to be able to use the cards. I think that's really important. But I don't think what's important is everyone to have everything in the game. Now, if you've been smart all year through this year, you can obviously do whatever you want. Because I don't think the cards are going to be 2 million coins. I don't know how they would make that work.
Ugh,
I don't know. They
I
might be
hope
2
not.
million eventually. You know, after they're at a PAX, or if it's say it's like week 1 is Vic. His price fluctuates around 1 million coins, and then once he's not boosted anymore, the card's gonna rise. You know, I don't care what the price is after the rise. It's only on those first 2 days where it's really gonna matter, because every other limited rises. Ryan Poole rised.
Kerrigan ain't rising. I'm just telling you right now.
No, he won't. But he should. He should. Because we don't know the Redux situation, do we?
Oh yeah.
Or when are we going to get randomly Reduxed or something? I don't know.
We did last year. I think we got halfway. We got halfway to the end. Redux.
We got something, and they gave us some, and I was like, well, I'll tell you what. If you want a limited right now, you better buy it just in case.
That's true.
Because they will start to really disappear on the market really, really quickly. Because what a lot of people are going to do, all those people who had those for this weekend, Antonio Gates up for auction, right? They're not holding them in their binder. They're quick selling them. He's gone. He's gone. He's gone. I don't know how many were pulled, but I would guarantee there was at least 2,000 or 3,000 that just got quick sold. Would be my guess. There's probably, I mean,
because a lot of people aren't even building teams anymore. They're just rolling everything.
No, you're just recycling.
and rolling and rolling and rolling.
Stuff.
Yes.
Oh yeah, there's not a lot of cards on the market. Truly, when you look at what certain cards are, because again, I got, what did I pull today? Like 96 Troy Vincent. Not a bad card. Not really expensive. That's a quick sell. Everyone's quick selling that card. You're not going to go buy that card.
An orange honors or above.
Right, no, right, get rid of it. Quick sell it. Reroll it. Let's go. Keep going. The Trading Variety Pack is the best thing, the best single pack they put in the game ever. It may be the best single edition ever. But at the same point, it is slightly crippling towards the market and all that. But whatever. It's fun. And I enjoy it too.
So that kind of brings me to a point. How limited do you feel creatively? How limited creatively do you feel? Again, and I think I've had brief talks to you about, because I think you've used a word sometimes that, you know, the Madden community really likes Madden, and you try to step out of a certain zone, and they're like, "What are you doing, stepping out of this zone? This is where we want you." In a sense. So how do you feel like that stunts you? Like, is there things you want to try that you have? But you're like, you know what? If I do it, what's going to happen to my momentum in this direction? You know what I mean? Like, how does that? How do you feel?
I would love to do more. I would love to do non-Madden stuff. And maybe at some point I will. Like I've vlogged and did a couple little things like that, which is fun. But from a in-game perspective, I feel like once you kind of get holed into one area, you're just kind of there, right? I love opening packs, sure. I love talking about content, speculating on content, and doing stuff. I love talking about team building. But I love to play the game more than the other parts, honestly. And I would love to like do way more gameplay. Love it. Almost like, I don't even know how many I do a week now, but I would love to have like one a day. Maybe not even, because I know eventually you're not supposed to post as often, but something like that. I would love to be more into that realm with it. But I know that when I'm playing, I can't just get in this happy-go-lucky fun side, because I don't want to lose. I don't want whoever I'm playing to be able to say that they beat me. Yeah, even if you play like a total moron in the game, they will still say, oh, I beat him. Shit, no. I do not want you to win. Right? I do not try. I'm not a try hard necessarily from my eyes, right? People who play me may think I'm a try hard, which is fair. But for the most part, like I'm just casually playing. I'm not locked in, and I'm doing so many different things. I can't tell you how many times and some of the weird things I'm doing while I'm playing weekly games that people like. It would almost be like disrespectful. Some of the stuff, like I'll sit here grooming my nails or something, right? Why not? In between plays, I just go to the bathroom, just leave the controller on. That's fine, whatever. Game's not. We're not gonna win the game here, you know. Put my clothes away, dust, whatever it is. Like I'm there, but I'm not there. Especially if I realize in the middle of a game, and I feel like I can always tell really quickly, like, do you have a chance at winning? And if I feel like the answer is no, I am not taking that game seriously at all. I will completely overlook you. And you may surprise me, and by all means, there was a kid this past weekend that kind of surprised me. I still won, but I was like, I did not see that game coming. And he actually came in the stream, and I told him, I was like, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I didn't think you were very good when we started, and you were much better than I thought. So good for you. No, I overlooked you. I let you back in the game, do all that. So that's I don't even know where the conversation started.
Just how do you started to talk about the
creativity.
Yeah, exactly.
Creativity. Yeah, and I would love to do much more. You know, I love the idea that we have with bundle battles. Is great. No Money Spent series, great. I love the idea of series because it helps give that idea more to people. Give them a look of that could be me, right? I could do that necessarily, as opposed to like winning with a god squad. And they're like, I can't afford the team. Okay, cool. Well, this is that team and that look is you looking at Ferraris and Lamborghinis in the window, right? I can't afford one of those cars, but I tell you what, I'm certainly not watching videos on Honda Civics.
Mm-hmm.
Man, how fast is a new Civic? I've never said that, you know. But if I see a Lamborghini or we saw like one of the new Lexus LC 500s or whatever today, that's a really nice car. I'm gonna go look it up. I've not gone by. I'm like, that is a nice Honda Accord. I don't care, right? Because you want to sometimes see what you can afford or can't have, and then there's the same way with a No Money Spent or a Pack and Play series, which I think Pack and Play is done wrong by everybody, but whatever. But then No Money Spent, it's like, okay, well, there's common man, right? Let's be the common man. And I know I've said this, I'm not sure if I said in a video or a stream, that I spend so little time on that account. It's crazy. Because I realized I don't have to do much to get the coins this year. So I'm not working the market. I'm not doing all this stuff. I'm not taking advantage of all the loopholes and whatever it is. I don't really take advantage of a ton of that stuff because I don't need to. Because if I did, I would have, just say, easily doubled coins, 20 million coins, right? Is that a No Money Spent series then? Is it really? Technically, you didn't spend any money, but the account is already far ahead of everyone else's. So that's not what people want, and I think people would prefer if I had 400,000 coins on the account. You know, like, I don't know.
So do you think people want? Do you think people want to see you pull fire? Or do you think people want to see you waste all your coins?
Both. People really like when you do well. People are genuinely happy for you. Same way with me when someone sends me they pulled something. I'm happy for them. I'm like, yes, that's awesome. Like, you deserve that positive experience within the game, right? I don't like someone saying I didn't pull anything today in my bundle. I'm like, you know what, man? I've been there. It sucks. I'm sorry. You know, I want that positivity and that gleaming and having everyone be happy. But I don't know. I think people also like seeing you kind of get shit on sometimes, which is fair. You know, I've definitely watched some people sometimes, and I'm like, yeah, I hope they lose. You know, like that's fair. You know, I would be.
Throw an
I
interception.
mean,
Throw an interception.
right. You know, like there's people you watch, and obviously if they're my friends, wouldn't sort of wish that. I mean, sometimes I want to Scummo play. I'm like, he's gonna lose, isn't he? I'm like, he's totally gonna lose this game. Watch. Like you could just tell. I could just see like the frustration and the fire in his eyes. Or with packs. But like I don't even when we do bundle battles and I tell him I hope your packs suck. Like I don't hope they suck. Like legitimately, I just hope they suck one less than mine. You know, that's all I care about. Or with anyone else. But I feel like the creativity is hard. It's really hard to be creative because anytime you do something slightly creative, everyone else is going to hop on and do some of that stuff, which is why a lot of times I don't sort of dive into those things. So what I tried to do myself was not necessarily start the series. Um, you know, Best Team in Madden is just a lineup update video essentially, right? And everyone always just titled it My Lineup Update. I was like, that's a boring ass title. That is boring. It's boring. This is the best team. This you want to see the best team? This is the best team. And then there, of course, there's everyone, oh, my team's better, whatever. But it's like that. Like go with that. When I see people, so many different ideas, and a lot of ideas come from different places, right? When I know Zerk and Dom, they do their bingo thing now, right? Which, if you may or may not have seen, then they're probably not your specific demographic. But Vic and Tex did bingo before, right? And that idea came from FIFA, where a guy named Capgun Tom has been doing that forever and does a really good job, right? Same thing with the Guess Who stuff, like TD and Lost and Unbound, which I don't even know where that guy is anymore, where they were doing that stuff before. And I like the Guess Who stuff. I feel like it's it was hard to do this year. It's been harder for them to do something like that. And the creativity is sort of cut off, you know? One of the big things that Toke used to do was Flashback Anarchy, which was Madden 15-16, where he would just spend ridiculous amounts of coins pulling flashback packs because you could get really bad cards or really good cards. 99s, right? Now Flashback's not 99. What are you gonna do? Training rolls for like no, you gotta feel like you're really putting something on the line to be excited about, and you're not really doing that. These exchange sets are all gated, they all have ceilings. We don't have enough in the game that really just lets you have this full freedom. Even the Ultimate Legend exchanges, which was something you could have done in a video in the past time. I'm doing 25 of them. What are you doing now? Well, I pulled 392s and 395s. Like nobody cares. It's not a full card. It's not exciting. You know, sometimes Mutt takes our legs out from under us, and then they give us a training variety pack. Okay, but that's not even overly exciting anymore, really, because you can sit there and you'll eventually hit. But nobody wants to see 300 jerseys and 200, 1,000 coin quick sales and 81 Jerron Reed or 82 Steve Atwater. And like nobody cares about all that, right? Like I would, unpopular or not, I would rather have them sort of raise the cost of it and get rid of some of the trash out of that pack.
All power ups.
And include Ultimate Legends and stuff like that, you know? Like give us a little bit more in there because everything that you have in that pack, subsequently, price gets killed, right? And well, if Ultimate Legends are already, their price is already pretty much killed, to be honest, why not put them in there? You know, it says you can pull an 83 plus legend player, and that's one of the weird things. One of the things I hate EA does is that in certain places they say legend player, and it means legend. In other places, it means legend or ultimate legend. But you don't know what one it is. You don't know. The top 10 weekly reward pack today was 94 plus or full legend. Shit, there was no full legend. It was all ultimate legends in it. What are we talking about? Like, I'm lazy sometimes, man.
Dot the I's. Dot your I's.
I hate. Like, be consistent, you know. But again, I think that does sort of rip away some of the creativity. Now, I don't know if you opened just the legend pack in the trading store at all. Have you, or do you?
Yeah.
Is there ultimate legend stuff in there?
I've only pulled the pieces, just the blue pieces, just the regular legend pieces.
I've never.
No.
Me neither. Why? What do I need Jerry Rice's for? I don't know. Why is that in there? I don't know.
It's exactly, make it valuable or take it out of the store. Just stick something else in there that's more valuable.
Right. I don't know. They're gonna mess up the Rising Stars pack tomorrow too, so get ready to make a bunch of training on that. The flashback
every
pack
week,
still,
right? Every week
opinion,
and every week.
The flashback pack is still messed up in my opinion.
You did it. Have you kept on? I did it for a while. Not as bad as
doing it. It's not as bad, but I keep doing it.
That Veterans was nuts. It was so crazy. I had I think
nuts.
No coins. I forgot what I had done. I think I invested everything. I had 0 coins, and and someone texted me about it. It messaged me and was like, "Hey, this thing's hitting," and I was like, "Oh, I need to buy a 97 somehow." And I just went to the store, not even knowing I had coins. I was able to snipe like a $30,000 or 30,000 coin 97, which was like snipe of the year.
Crazy.
But totally got overshadowed by the rest of what happened that day. Was
by the rest of how you just nuts. I didn't. I
5 million coins.
So much more.
5 million coins I made.
Actually, I found out about it, and if I would have just hopped on the trend earlier, because I had a bunch of people in my comment section saying it, I was like, all right, well, you know, everyone says stuff. But then when I really like found out about it, I had to like go do school pickup and all that, and I was like, okay, it's fine. Like, I've been doing it for a little bit. I've done okay. I was trying to switch between the 2 accounts to get a little bit of done on each. And then, like, I came home, and it was like, I saw Zerk talking about it, and I was like, well, there it goes. We're done. We're done. You know, as a content creator, sometimes you're like, you feel like the need, like, hey, you have to let everyone know everything. And I think that's, at certain times, that's okay. Like, with the Edger and James power-up thing this weekend, like, yeah, go for it, right? It doesn't hurt anyone if you use a 93 to 94 roll power pass. Or the thing with getting all the 32 team builders, I don't even know if that got patched, right? Where you had to get every star. Shit, yeah, guys, you guys go for it. If you got 1,200 stars, good, you deserve it. Probably not even broken. You deserve it. You deserve every team builder for the year if you played all those photos. That's insane. It's all full games.
Full games, yeah.
But like with that, I was like, you know, I'm not gonna say anything, because it kind of goes back to that, like, well, I'm not a snitch.
Exactly. You know? That the person that gave it to me did not say. The person that told me said, "Don't tell anyone," and that's all I had to say. And so I stopped right there.
I saw enough people having clues about it. I'm like, okay, cool. I gotta make a video on it. I made a video talking about it. But I was like, whenever this gets fixed, we'll put it up, right? Because in my eyes, I had to justify why I made, it was like 2 million coins on the No Money Spend account.
Money Spend, exactly. Yeah, you had to.
I just had to justify, like, show you guys, like, this is exactly what I did. I don't want to be that guy and be like, oh yeah, this happened. No, like, I showed you like the packs and do all that and the process. And it just so happened I was able to put it up that night then, because everyone was like, then once it just catches on fire, right? And then it's done. It's done instantly. It's tricky, you know? I always tell everyone, and you will agree, when EA messes up, you take all advantage in the world. You take care of you first, you know? I messaged a couple people, let them know, like, hey, man, I want to try this. This looks pretty promising. Like, how you know, have you done it a bit? It's like, oh, I haven't lost yet, but I haven't gone all in either. But again, I keep my circles kind of small. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not really messaging a ton of people anyway. But where do you draw the line? Are you the snitch or not? Are you a bad person if you don't say it?
If someone
Well,
asks you and
maybe.
you deny it, then I think that makes you a liar. But if you're not going out there volunteering, like I said, if however it came upon you, if that person said tell everyone, then all right, that person told me to tell everyone. That's where I got it from. But if they said don't
Yeah,
tell anyone, then I'm not telling anyone.
right. It was the day before. Some guy was telling me about this little method he was using with the player of the week packs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, I'll check it out. I usually try to check out every little coin making method people send just to see if it works. And it was working, and I could, but not like crazy working well. But it was, you could make, 60K an hour or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I was like, all right, well, this works. I'm making coins. But if I said anything, if I made a video on it, it would instantly not work for
Mm-hmm.
anyone. I feel like if two more people were doing it, it wouldn't have worked because it was still taking a long time to sell the cards because you actually had to sell cards. It wasn't just re-roll training
A
for
loophole, a loophole, yeah.
infinite, right? So there was like a process, and I was like, can't really say anything about this one because he's using it. This guy's entrusted me with this information.
Mm-hmm.
It works because we're both doing it. Again, 60,000 coins an hour. You could probably make that sniping or do it lots of different ways. But if you tell everyone, all of a sudden you can't make anything. Devonte Adams, who was 30,000 coins, would have been 20, and all of a sudden there's your profit level is gone. Him and Dak, there was like the cards
Mm-hmm.
that you essentially had, were profitable from a training perspective. So it's weird how it falls.
And how different
Sometimes I'm glad when I miss stuff. Sometimes, honestly,
it's
you
so
just don't have to be involved.
exactly. And one thing that's that why don't I say thank you so much for your time. We're already talking for an hour here, but one thing I wanted to touch on with you as well, real quick, is what stuck out to me the most and one of the reasons I wanted to become a content creator is
Mhm.
I didn't have anything to share, like you said. I don't have anyone to share. Oh, I pulled a card, and like everyone else, like, what the heck are you
Yep.
talking about?
Yep.
Like, there's no one I could share these small joys with, in my
Right.
everyday life.
Right.
But also didn't want to be a name on a screen. I didn't want to be
Right.
some logo or I wanted to have actual face to people. Oh, this
Yep.
guy, there's an actual person, like you say. So why do you think that I see that there's not a lot of this community is like very few faces, actual faces, and there's so much just like why people choose to hide behind. It's like I don't know why it's even hide. It's like they make this handle. You want to call it Twitter or Twitch or whatever. Their YouTube. It's not their name.
I feel like
It's not a picture. It's just these random things. What is that to me?
when it comes to,
That's the part I don't get.
I feel like if they're kids,
Oh yeah,
get it,
different.
get it. Um, so I just feel like a lot of people aren't as confident in themselves as they should be, and that's fair. And you can't teach that to people. You can't just generically say like you should be confident. That's what I would say. Like this is like I can great at speaking to people, which is how it all sort of came naturally enough for me. Um, and I've always been confident enough. But I know not everyone has the confidence to show themselves or be themselves because all of a sudden it's you're fat, you're bald, you're ugly, you're whatever, right? Who cares, right? Does it really matter? But if someone's insecure about it, then that's fine. Like you can be a handle, you know. Um, I think it's that way in a lot of communities. I think one of the more odd things, from a competitive man standpoint, right? And I think this really hurts a lot of stuff. Uh, we don't have a lot of faces to games. You know who some of these people are because they've been on streams and EA forces people to have face cams. They force them to take promo photos or whatnot, but they still prefer their anonymity, right? Maybe their Twitter logo or the Twitter handle is the same, but their gamer tags and all that everything is constantly changing and constantly different. And people kind of think of it as rebranding or hiding, and I think it really hurts the way that the community is. I think the more people you have as themselves, pushing for themselves. Because some of the competitive players that they could and they should be the names. Madden is one of the only games out there that the competitive players, for the most part, don't really have a big name. You know, maybe if you go out to a Madden tournament and you ask someone who's Drini, yeah, you know, they're probably going to know who Drini is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Drini is, I met him, nice guy, right? But some of these other people you don't know, right? And Drini isn't someone to really put himself all the way out there either if he streams or whatnot. So it's an odd concept, and that sort of I think trickles down a lot, where the only people who really are putting themselves out there, besides the creators, are maybe older people, a little more confident. Um, and you see it on Twitch, right? Whenever I go through Twitch raids or whatnot, I always want to find someone who has a face cam, right? Because I do feel like there's the connection there. I think it's a little weird that we all want to see each other's faces, but I think that from when the Madden community started growing on Twitch, Madden 2515, nobody had a face cam. Just ScoMo and them. I'm sure other people. But even like GS, right? GS has been around for a long time. He didn't reveal his face for years. Years and years and years. Should he have? Maybe. Should it matter? I mean, I don't know. Who's that Dream guy? You know, who plays Minecraft or something? Everybody knows what the guy looks like. Okay, that's cool. But I tell you
It's
what,
like a master wrestler, like a master wrestler.
if they're super good looking, they're probably not doing it. You know, imagine if Throne didn't have a face cam. That's a different experience. That's you get it all right here. He is all here. ScoMo, you would just think it was some guy yelling at you across the deli or something. You know.
No soup for you. No soup for you.
Right. He's so angry. But like then you get to see it and you get to feel it. And I was like, it's tough. It's tough. But I kind of wish more people would be a little more open, a little bit more themselves. A lot of times when people talk to me, there's on Twitter or whatnot, I'm always like, you don't know me. You guys don't know anything about me. You know, and that's not like me trying to be secretive. Like you just don't. Mm-hmm. Right. You think, oh, I joke around about NFL stuff. So like, you don't know anything about football. I'm like, I think I do. Because I said that Jerry Rice isn't good. Like, that's a joke. It's just an ongoing joke. For years, I've had in the group of friends, and it just happened to come out. Yeah, you know what? Jerry Rice sucks. And say whatever you want. Julio's better. Cool. People get so mad. Oh my God. Like, you don't know me. You don't know what I used to do. You don't know what you don't know anything about me. Might not always want to come at the right person or the wrong person. I'm not a child, because you're not either. Mm-hmm. It's like, just educate ourselves a little bit more. And guess, I know I don't even want to say I got into an argument with someone. I think it was yesterday. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was today. It was yesterday because it was about the Edelman stuff. I was like, the dude's not a Hall of Famer. I just don't think he is, right? Didn't really give any reasons. Just said, I don't think he is. And he said something. Let's see what he said. Pull it up.
And I quote, "Let's make this guy famous."
I don't want to like say something wrong.
I got you.
He actually deleted his tweet. But he said something that he lost respect for me for what I said.
Oh, you know, I saw you retweeted it. I think did you not retweet?
Yeah, I said because I said 1,600 years and 1,600 yards and 11 years isn't Hall of Fame worthy. You must not respect a lot of things, right? And then he eventually kind of came back and he was like, I understand what you were trying to say. I respect it. I respect you now. I get it. It's like, I'm not trying, like, you can disagree with me all you want, you know? Fine. But if you're going to disagree with me and you want to have a discussion, we can have a discussion. By all means, I'm ready. But if you just want to say, like, you lost respect for me because I don't think Julian is in the Hall of Fame, I was like, I think that's stupid. So I'm going to have to call you stupid, right? I know I had a comment on a video. I don't like to give people negative pub, but I'd said something about this is the Grant Delpit Golden Ticket, and I was like, let me know what you guys think. You know, if you think this is a good card or a bad card. And this kid wrote, I assume kid, whoever he is, wrote this long thing about how this was, it was an L. This isn't the reason why Mutt was created. Nobody cares about these cards. And I was like, listen, man, I think your comment's an L. I said. That's all I said. Your comment was an L. Like, you called it all an L. I called your comment an L. Cool. That's my opinion. It's like, what? You can't get mad. You asked a question, I answered it. I'm like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I can't be upset if I ask a question and you give a stupid response that I can't think that it's stupid. Nah, B, that's not how it works. Right? Again, I'm not 12. I am beyond educated, more than I need to be to understand all this, to understand logic and reason and go into depth with you here. What you said does not make any sense. So we can end this argument here, because I know there's no way that I can convince you or I can fill in the blanks within your education that you have apparently missed over the 16 years potentially that you have been within school. I can't fix that in a YouTube comment. So you're good to go, right? We're fine. We're done. Oh, you don't want to say anything now? No, I don't. If I wanted to argue with someone who was in second grade, I would go upstairs. And even then, I think he might have put up a better argument. You break it in second grade, you know. Oh.
So how much does that wear on you? I've seen you talk about it like brief, like sometimes. I guess what it boils up. You know, as everything. You know, some days it gets to us more than it does others.
Some days,
so obviously,
I do a really good job of ignoring. But some days, you know, you hit the mark. It's not even a build up, right? Of getting trolled or whatever it may be. It's literally like you could just be at a certain point, you know, during your day, what's going on, and all of a sudden, like that's that one push, so minor. Plus, you also have to have the unfortunate timing that I see it at that moment, because if you tweeted at me 30 minutes ago and I don't check, we're not gonna have a discussion, because I'm not gonna scroll all the way back through everything. So it's unfortunate sometimes we get into it. I try not to get into it with people, because the main reason I don't like to do it on Twitter, because I feel like people will also get unnecessarily attacked or harassed back sometimes.
All your people coming to your defense.
Yeah, and I don't like.
Calm down, players.
I don't want that, you know. Right, you know. Sometimes it's like I'm trying to have the discussion, right? And the reason why I will quote tweet what people say sometimes, is more for the, like, I want you to know. And I try to do it like, if you say something that's really dumb, like, I'm going to respond, and I want other people to know that I'm going to respond. I could respond in thread, no problem. And sometimes they end up doing that. But it's like, if you don't want me to say anything back to you, the best way is to not respond in the first place, because it is my Twitter, right? If I come into your thread or your comments and I say something, hey, that's on me, man. I'm obviously putting my 2 cents into someone else's thing. But if you respond to something I've said, I feel like I have the right to respond to you, whoever it is, positive or negative. Sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't. I can be pretty creative and clever with what we say sometimes, but a lot of times I really just want to have the discussion with people, and I would prefer to have the discussion with people, because again, I don't know, as we said before with the anonymity, I don't know who you are. I don't know who your real name is. I don't know what your job is. I don't know how old you are, what you look like. I don't really care. I want to actually see what your opinion is. Let's talk. I'm open to listening.
See, you got way more
Oh,
patience than me. I mean, I believe me, I have
well, you
very
do with
strong.
kids, so
I have very, I have very strong and passionate opinions about, a lot of things that people could say is
hmm.
controversial or what. But it's
Oh
just to
yeah,
me,
no,
it's I feel like I'm be fighting sharks in the ocean. I don't feel like I can win any. You know what I mean? Like I cannot beat a shark on its own territory. And when you're talking about
no,
a social media platform where that's like you don't get the it's like you said, the
it
anonymity. You have somebody hiding behind something that you can't really ever convince, and it's like
it's tough. It's a balance. I've gotten a lot better at it over time, and I will keep getting better at it. Um, I've got a lot of patience for the most part. I try. I will try. I'll just, when I'm streaming or something, it's a little different
mm-hmm.
because if you catch me saying something, like, what are you doing? Like, I'm pretty good at roasting people. Uncompetent people will not know that. This is one of my best talents for sure. You could, yeah, go back ask him where he'd be like, yeah, he's pretty bad. Um, but I also again gotta keep within myself and make sure I'm not saying anything incorrectly or wrong. And then at the same point, not get into a discussion or a conversation that I don't feel like I'm educated on. Not fully educated, right? Like with cryptocurrencies and all that. I don't know enough about it. I'll make fun of it, but I don't know enough about it. I'm not going to get into a discussion with anyone. Um, but I will avoid stuff, you know? When it comes to football, Julian Edelman stats, yeah, we can talk that.
all
That's
day.
fine. If you want to talk about like uh, how good were the 1970 Steelers, I'm like, I don't know. I have no clue. I could read about it, but again, that's not really educating me. I wasn't around. Like, let me just take someone else's opinion, and they'll just tell you their opinion. But I don't want their opinion to be my opinion
Mm-hmm.
either. Like I want to form my own opinion on stuff, and that's why even when I get into all these other things, uh, I will go like double check my facts before I tweet something out. You know, Julian Edelman, like I'm looking, I'm like, he had this many yards and this many touchdowns. Like this is what he had. I'm not guessing. No, thank you. Mm-mm. No, no,
This
no,
is
no.
this
I
is
gotta
what
be right.
this is what Heinz Ward had and is not in the
Right. When I saw that stuff, I was like, yeah. And I went and looked at a bunch of other receivers around Julian Edelman's area. I was like, who can I use? Who could I potentially use if this conversation devolves into this manner? Who can I use as a stepping stone on here to disprove everything you're saying? And I found Ted Ginn, who's got 1,000 less receiving yards than Julian Edelman. Did you even know he caught the ball? I didn't. I remember him catching a couple passes from Cam Newton in his career. Didn't know the man had 6,000 yards though.
I thought it was returner. Returned, right? Returned. Did
Hey, he's a
gimmick
punt
plays.
returner. Right. He's like 200, like he's like 300th in career receiving yards. No, I don't know that.
Reggie
But guess
Wayne,
what?
like
He's
get Reggie Wayne in there. Get Reggie Wayne in there, and then you can start
right,
talking about other receivers. He's
right. Like there's a lot of stuff. Even like for me, I will always try to keep my bias outside of my actual opinion, as opposed to like troll opinion on Twitter, like when I'm trolling
mm-hmm.
Saints fans or doing any of that. Like that's all just
Mm-hmm.
character. That part is more character and intentionally trying to poke the bear,
Mm-hmm.
which always works.
Easily.
So easy. It's so easy to just to get people. You can tweet right now, Jerry Ice sucks, and just have a war of people. I'm like, why don't you like him? I'm like, I don't know. We'll find out one day, won't we? Wait till I come up with some creative.
Different story every time, like the Joker. Different story every time, like the Joker.
It is. It's every time is a different story, and people are like, you really don't like him. I actually had someone comment recently. They're like, you didn't have a problem with him last year in your videos when you pulled them. I'm like, you are observant. You're like, good. I appreciate that. Right. Like,
At least someone's paying
but
attention around here.
now I'm
At
gonna
least someone's
block
paying
you.
attention.
Right. It's phenomenal, and I love little stuff like that. But in our community, at times it's really terrible, and at times it's really great. And I think recently we've been in a good spot, despite how the game is and all that. And Sometimes there's the negativity towards Mutt. Like, remember the first day we didn't get Team of the Week, and everyone was like pitchforks. I saw that and I was like, "What are we doing? We can't be doing this."
Make rights.
They're like, make Mutt. They was all make Mutt great again. Everyone, and there was, you got to tweet this. You got to support the cause. We got to go trending. And I was like, no. Make Mutt great again. It's already been the best year. It's like, there's content coming. This is the first day. What? No.
I've never been able to understand that part. I've never been able to understand
calm
that.
down. Like, if you guys want to have a pack strike and talk about stuff, you don't want us to do stuff, it's got to be justified. And I always feel that way. You have to. Is it worth it? You know, like when Dante Hall and Michael Perry weren't in packs, right? I thought I was crazy. I didn't pull the cards. I was like, I don't feel like they're in these packs, man.
Too expensive.
Really
Michael D. Perry should not have been that expensive. That's what I thought. I was like, why the heck?
I know there was a million coins, and I was like, this doesn't seem right. I was like, but yeah, I'm not gonna say anything, you know. And then, I guess it was Monday. Kralo said something about it, and they said they were gonna do the make rights and all that. And he's like, hey, I saw your video and I saw your tweets that like, you thought this was wrong. Why didn't you mention it to me? And I said, I felt like I was kind of chasing a ghost and picking my priorities that like, there's no way you didn't put these cards in packs. There's no way you didn't. So I wasn't going to bother you on the weekend about that. Like, it's fine, I guess. You know, that's not the battle I wanted to pick with, hey guys, I think you guys should do this. Or hey, this is wrong. But at the same point, did I mention the Adrian James thing to them? No. No point, right? And you know what? Some stuff you got to figure out naturally. Again, and if there's I'm much more willing to point out faults in the game or things that are wrong when they are hurting the player base versus hurting the ace pockets. Oh. He'll survive. The veterans thing made a lot of people coins. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I like it. I hope it happens again.
Yes.
Maybe it'll happen tomorrow.
Let's see. Every Wednesday, I'm gonna try it. I know you are too. So we're.
Oh, I know. So I got. I know we're talking forever. When they tweeted that out tonight with Debo, right? The little tease. Did you read it the same way I read it? You had to have.
What?
Go check the tweet right now. Tell me. That's how I the little one was like on the potty. I read it slightly differently than I think their intention.
Debo and Rojo?
I read it as Rojo. Right. I read it as Rojo. I was like, who is red? Because I just popped on my screen. I was like, what? I was like, then I was like, I clicked on it. I was like, oh, Ronald Jones. I was like, that's not how you spell Rojo. You got to capitalize or something in there. And I was like,
it's like, yeah, all my Spanish teacher and all my Texas Mexican folk right now are going to be pissed at me for saying Rojo. That is Rojo all day. That's red.
It is. And I my Spanish is not great, but I know that, you know, and just sitting there like that was like the first line of like the notification, and I was like,
Debo and Rojo. What the? It's like,
Rojo? Who's Rojo?
Who's tweeting this out?
What's happening here?
Who's drinking?
I was like, oh man, we definitely got Senior Farrells tonight. Like, come on. That's why I just commented red ? And literally nobody here picked up on it either. No, I'm looking through the entire people who replied to me. Nobody commented and realized what I was meaning to say. That's crazy. I was like, what? That's like some of the
pretty basic.
things I find humorous. Things I find humorous. They go over people's heads. It's okay.
It's just like my comment to you about that works for me. You know, like someone says that, it's
Right.
that
You're right.
show
Right. You
100.
just hit something. It's like, okay. I feel
was
like my dad used to watch that show.
Oh, don't say that, because I watched it with my dad, so you made me feel like super old. And I'm not that much older than you.
No, but I feel like he did. I feel like the guy looked familiar. I don't remember watching it.
He wasn't one of the fearsome foursome, but he was on the team. Fred Dryer was one of those, Deacon Jones, back to back, Rosie Greer back in those LA Rams back in the day.
That's beyond me. I watched all the CFL growing up, CFL and the Super Bowl, and that was it.
So first
I think
game,
the first football game I remember watching was not CFL game. First NFL game was the Super Bowl. The one the Giants won.
The Bills? Scott Norwood?
Yeah, that one. Because we were in England, actually, at the time. And I remember that because it was like that and like the Royal Rumble were like right around the same time. So we ended up watching both those things when we were there. And I mean, I was just a kid, but that's what I remember. They were like, oh, we can watch the football. And it was like, what? It's like, cause my whole family's basically British, but I'm like, I'm not, I guess technically, and I wasn't born there, but technically, sure. I was like, okay. I remember so much more about that trip than like any other trip I ever made too, which is weird. I was a kid. Yeah.
And so did you just like fall in love with football?
That's my first. No.
What made you fall in love with football?
We had season tickets to the CFL stuff for a while in Winnipeg. So
who was the guy?
We'd go. Matt Dunnigan. Small quick story before we end. I know we're literally the longest talk. When I was in school, everyone had like a special day, right? Which was like, it was like a day for you to shine or whatnot. And I remember my mom got the guy who played cornerback for the Winnipeg's team to come in on that day, like surprise me in the classroom. And I was just like, wow, you do that, I don't know how she did that, but I learned later on that, like, I don't know, she was an interesting person. So she knew them, and I remember even like some of the access and stuff you got back then. But she was just like knew some people, made calls, and I remember it was just super cool. Like, this was like, will always like stick with me, that moment of being like, what the hell? Maybe I should have said something different. She's like, who's your favorite football player? I don't know, Lawrence Taylor. Bring him in.
Let's see how good she
did.
Really
I mess
is.
up? Right? Did I mess up? We'll have another talk about the adventures of Cece's mom stories from the
awesome
80s and stuff.
Definitely we'll have you back for that. I would love to hear more and more.
Those, yeah. she things she told me and then later on has denied, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't believe you. Crazy. She had a lot of fun, I think. Seemingly. I don't get the football players that come to your school. Whatever.
I'll tell you this. My one claim to fame I did for I worked at a lower income schools. When you go into school education, you're just like any other field. You're going to work in the harder ones to work your way up. But as a wrestling fan, I knew of this program, and I'm sure you're aware of it too. Be a Star. You're aware of the Be a Star program. Yeah. And so in a school, I was like, I'm writing to them. I'm going to write. I want, if they ever come to Austin, and they answered me. And I set it up, and I brought the Be a Star program to my school and here in Austin.
That's awesome. Cool.
It was amazing. So I remember Naomi, Darren Young. It was Naomi, Darren Young, and then what's his name? Sin Cara. Those three came. They were the ones that came in top.
Pretty cool for the kids there.
They go off demographics, like where's the prominent demographics of your school, so they wanted to have, so that's crazy question. That's kind of where I learned more about the machine of WWE, just how Because I dealt with like the lady who called their, and this is how it
Oh yeah.
organized, and we'll be contacting the media and all this stuff. I'm like, man, this is a well-oiled machine they got going here, though.
Oh
But
God, yes. They really, I would love to get more in the know with some of that stuff.
uh,
I know, like Skimbo, like
yeah.
he loves that too. Like he loves like Kofi, and Kofi loves him. It's kind of cool. I
Oh.
think he sent him like his shoes or something from. It was like right around WrestleMania when he won. He sent him something cool there. I was like, it was pretty cool. I
That's
was like,
awesome.
just giving back. I love little stuff like that. You know, like just the appreciation that some people really truly have, and you see some of the stories of, and even if it's something that doesn't directly impact me, you know, like you can make a fan out of me even more so,
Oh yeah.
for some of the stuff.
John
You know,
Cena, biggest fan. I mean, just
right,
make a wish.
right.
And watch.
He'd come over to anywhere. If he could be there, he will be there. Like that's an amazing human being. Like, you can make fun of him for a bunch of stuff, but like,
Not to those kids who he gave their dying
I
wish.
wish.
Yeah.
I wish that I could like have any sort of impact on people like that. And I guess we do have impact. I just don't honestly realize it sometimes.
Mhm.
But
You're putting smiles on
I would
faces
love
too
to
out
be
there,
able to
CC. You're putting smiles on
do
faces out
that.
there too, CC.
But I would love to really. I mean, you don't know it, you know. Uh, Not necessarily make like a Mr. B style impact on some people's lives, because I don't know how that's how they afford to do some of the stuff they do still, despite all the
Mhm.
money that they make. But like, would love to do something along those lines if I ever could. And how, if I get the chance, I will. After we can take care of everything we have here, or just knowing the impact you make sometimes. Like, there's some little things that people have said. Um, I would never really bring it up to anyone else, because that's if someone has their own personal problems or whatnot, then that's their problems and not to be
Mhm.
public. But uh, I don't know. Maybe one day. Again, because it still doesn't all feel that real to me. Like I say, I've never really ran into anyone or had those experiences of being a celebrity. And I think that's a weird term, but I don't have that. That's why to me, I'm me. I'm pretty easy to pick out in a crowd if you saw me too. Like I don't think you could miss me for the most part. The big, tall, bald guy, that's him. He's right there. Probably
That's
wearing a
so.
hoodie, maybe not. It depends.
We call my band is one of the funniest things. The ongoing joke we
Yeah.
call it. It's just being seen. That's when like when you're in public and oh, you're the dude from Slap Musket. Hey, what's up, man? And you're like, hey, I saw your show.
Right.
That you're like, yeah. We call it being seen.
That's
Oh, you're like I got seen the other day at Whole Foods, and and it's oh yeah, we make fun of each other, but it's so
right.
weird that it's a thing. You know what I mean? Like it's we see people like that. It's like hey, they're real
Yeah,
people out
it's cool.
there.
I think it's cool. I know like it happens to Scum a lot. He goes out more than I do though, for sure. But like, man, maybe one day. Maybe one day.
I'm sure you walk into any
I don't know.
Madden room and you're definitely instantly.
Oh, in there, yeah. No, I imagine if like it was again since then, I'm out of the house a lot, but I'm not out. I'm not at a concert. I'm not at necessarily a sporting event, or I'm going to the grocery store, or Target, or that's pretty much it, probably.
That's me.
You
That's my
know,
life. Like I said, my exact same life. Mine is now going back to in-person school, which I'm not running into
yep.
anybody there except kids.
Right.
But
Oh, that is what it is. Good luck
it is,
editing
man.
this down if you have to.
Exactly. With it, pretty soon you have to be wearing like a disguise, right? When you hit 500,000
Right.
subscribers, you're gonna be wearing a disguise out in public. You have a wig, the glasses, the whole thing. Cause
I mean, I would. I know when Scum was talking about in his video there, about like cash and all that, and I was like, that's so true. Like how I met him once, right? Or on one trip, I should say, and everything is it's true. It just doesn't. It just wants like to be private. You know. I like that. That's kind of me a little bit. It's like, he's really just normal. He's just such a normal person, just completely. We wouldn't think that, you know. I'm like, I appreciate that, you know. Remember, just someone's, they see him, recognize him, and it's like, oh, okay, like you gotta be personable, but you don't always want that, you know. And I always kind of sort of thought about that, the idea of like you're at dinner with your family as a celebrity or whatnot, and like people would come up to you and bother you, like, oh, you can't just have a normal life. And like you think about that as a normal person, and you're like, I mean, I don't think that'd be pretty cool, right? But I think after the first time of someone saying something like that, I would probably be like, can you just leave us alone just for a little bit? You know? And like my thing would always be, or what I have in my head is like, if I'm with the kids, like I will say hi to whoever it is, if it ever happens, for sure. But like, I'm not going to stop and talk. Like, I've got them with me, and sorry, but they're sort of important. But if it was just me, like, yeah, I'd talk to someone for sure. Meet someone at a bar, even better, right?
Yes, then you can really talk. That's where all the real discussions happen.
That's a real talking point. That's yeah. So I don't know.
Well, hopefully one day we can meet in the bar and we can have one of those discussions there.
One day, maybe it's WrestleMania next year.
Yeah, there we go.
Maybe it's WrestleMania next year because you're in Austin still, right?
That's 3. That's
How far is Austin from Dallas
hours.
anyway?
2.5 hours.
Not
3
far.
hours.
Okay. I have no idea. Texas is so big. I feel like you could be 8 hours or next door. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's like they had a couple guys I think move out here, and Austin's big, but it's just, I mean, Texas is big, but the spots that are populated are close together. You know what I mean? Like all these towns are close together, and there's a big empty space with nothing, and then all these towns are close together. There's a lot of empty nothingness out here. But
that's fair. That's fair. I've only flown through Dallas before. I've never actually like stayed in Dallas, so I have no idea anything about it. So
it's cool.
It'll be good.
Dallas is cool. I like Dallas a lot.
I'm planting. I'm telling you, I'm planting seeds. I'm planting seeds.
It's gonna
happen.
I'm
planting some seeds tomorrow. I gotta let her know. WrestleMania's in Dallas next year. Not on our son's birthday. Better.
Yes.
I think. It's not. Okay. I don't know. Either way. Thank you for having me on. I know we talked forever, and I'm a rambler, and I talk a lot.
Like I said, I came in here with not a lot of questions in my mind. I just wanted to, again, open
this up. You
didn't
have to. Just let me fly.
And just get
That's
real.
What I do.
But, yes. And I appreciate it, man. And I will definitely be hitting you up in the future as I cycle through and try to revisit some of these conversations. And
for sure.
And I wish you nothing but luck, my friend, in all your endeavors, and great health and happiness for you and your family. And
same to you, man. Same to you, of course.
All right, bud, and good luck tomorrow. I hope you pull all the rising stars. I should say flashbacks to rising stars. Maybe Maybe we'll get a Cameron Curl or a Antonio Gibson. I don't know.
I hope we deserve one. We need one of those guys. Yeah, they both had awesome years. So Gibson's car. I should have given to him earlier in the year. Whatever. Is what it is.
I can't complain. This has been the best Washington year ever.
They're phenomenal. Still, you still want more. Like I don't blame you for wanting more. I would have wanted more. I just didn't know who to tweet out. Like I don't know who we have that's young and doesn't have a card. So okay, it's okay.
See what they give us.
All
right, buddy.
Good luck.
Have a good night. Thank you, my friend, and we can talk to you.
Bye.